It's been 17 years since the release of Halo 3, yet after all this time, this game still holds a very special place in my heart. If you were there, you know just as well as I do how fun it was just to get together with a bunch of friends for either some big team battle, maybe some Fat Boy on custom games, playing through the campaign over and over, begging the forums for some secret way to somehow get your hands on the legendary recon armor.
Hey.
Yeah, you're that Master Chief sucks a Halo dude, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I see you got the recon armor.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty sweet.
I don't think you deserve it though.
What?
Discovering YouTubers making actual shows through theatre mode, building your own maps on Forge, whatever you could think of, Halo 3 had. And more. Before the times of roadmaps, battle passes, free-to-play, we had unbelievable games like Halo 3, games that stand the test of time, helmed by a studio that genuinely gave a shit about the product that they were making. Now, if I could go back in time and tell my 11-year-old self where the franchise of Halo would be right now, I'd never believe it. 17 years on from the release of Halo 3, not counting the final releases from Bungie, Halo has been slowly diluted. Once being a brand that changed the direction of the console wars, is now a franchise that old fuckers like me bang on about, as the good old days at the back of the bus on Fortnite.
Dude, what the f***? Why are you f***ing here, man? You're so old. Where's your wife? Go home to your family, dude.
Well, I mean, I'm not that old.
After Bungie decided to move on from Halo, Microsoft couldn't just leave this cash cow on the table, so they developed their own studio, placing them in charge of the future of Halo. This infamous studio would go on to be called 343 Studios. 343 got off to a lukewarm start with Halo. They decided to go down the route of exploring the humanity within Master Chief, building on his relationship with Cortana, and putting the Chief in a position by the end of the game that he would now have to go on without her. Even though Halo 4 was an average game at best, I was very curious of what they could do with a Master Chief questioning himself, and maybe interested to see how far the Master Chief would go to get back someone he cared for. The only other thing I remember about Halo 4 were the unbelievable headaches that game used to give me. I don't know if it was the new art style, but even back then, I think my brain was sending me warning signals on what was to come. They took my curiosity from Halo 4 and wiped their arse with my money when it came to Halo 5. The biggest con job in the franchise, with the most misleading marketing campaign I've ever seen, not counting The Last of Us 2.
Get up!
Halo 5 Guardians was all around just a piece of shit. They abandoned the entire formula of Halo when it came to the multiplayer. The campaign you probably wouldn't even understand without reading the countless lore between 4 and 5. Oh, and this time split screen was gone. I genuinely remember playing this game for a total of about 5 hours until I'd seen enough. 343 had successfully shat all over a great franchise, as well as their own work by this point, but it didn't stop there. 343 had one final chance with Halo Infinite.
Signal detected. Tag designated.
This is UNSC Pelican Echo 216. Can you hear me? This is UNS...
A game once promised us back to basics, the ultimate promise to Halo fans, a chance to make up for mistakes. Released in a state so bad, so unfinished, that the game at release had bare bones multiplayer, no theatre mode, broken custom games, no Forge, filled to the brim with microtransactions, and an average campaign with zero replayability. Look at the absolute drop-off within the first 3 months. It's fucking embarrassing. So 3 years on from Halo Infinite, the game is dead in the water, with 866 players currently playing as I'm making this video. I couldn't give a fuck if the game was in a better state or more polished. 343's final chance was Halo Infinite, and the studio should have been gutted a long time ago. So what's the answer going forward, 343 says? How do we fix Halo? Well, a rebrand, of course. Knowing how many Halo fans you've alienated in the name of 343, it was probably a wise idea to bin the studio's name, but don't be fooled by the lovely nostalgic music and cool name. This is very much the same studio, only with different people in charge. Halo Studios decided to release a hype package to announce the early stages of a new Halo game using the Unreal Engine 5. A cool idea, everything looks stunning, it certainly looks like Halo, but what the fuck is this?
I love intricate stories that take place across lots of different worlds, have lots of different meaningful characters, take place across lots of different worlds, have lots of different meaningful characters, take place across lots of different worlds, have lots of different meaningful characters, take place across lots of different worlds, have lots of different meaningful characters.
What me?
What is it? More brutes?
Worse.
I didn't even make it a minute into the video, the hype package that was supposed to excite me, and the red flags of the big bad retarded corporate overlords just couldn't help themselves. Coming off the horrible handling of the biggest franchise Microsoft have ever had, you'd think after spending millions and millions and millions, you'd maybe think it's time to get a fucking grip. But with one cringe developer exposed as someone 99% of gamers realise, oh, this woman probably doesn't give a flying fuck about telling you a good Halo story. It doesn't matter how pretty the game looks. It doesn't matter what engine you use, what name you give your studio, how manipulative you want to be with your hype announcement package. It's the year 2024 and we've been here before. I have been hurt so many times by this studio. For me to bring my wallet out, you've got to be hitting me with a grand slam. But the moment this lady with her venomous hair showed herself, I just knew she'd have pronouns in her fucking bio. Melissa Boone, or however you pronounce her bloody name, does she look like a woman that's going to be responsible for taking Halo back to the golden era? Back to the place Halo deserves to be? The answer is no. She'll probably see the Flood as some kind of held down, oppressed race of beings just fighting for survival against the evil human race, wanting to colonize their Halo rings. I'm so bored of this franchise being pissed all over. If you aren't going to have competent people who know, respect and care for this legendary video game, just let it die. I admire anybody who has optimism going into this new era of Halo. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is just the definition of insanity. The rumored project going forward is a remake, yes, another remake, of Combat Evolved. I may be just a cynical old fucker, but this didn't excite me. It actually pissed me off. When you're creatively bankrupt, when you can't take a story forward because you're not as creative as the people who came before, what's the easy answer? Well, to retell the same story, obviously. Just update the engine, take out the shit people actually enjoyed about the first couple of games, and slap it at full price. I don't speak for all Halo fans, but I certainly don't want something that was perfected 20 years ago. I want the Halo franchise to move forward, something new. If you want to go and play Halo Combat Evolved, it's literally available right now. Go play it. In my head, Halo will always be the greatest video game franchise of all time. It holds a place in time as revolutionary when it came to multiplayer, community building, and pure escapism when it came to the story told in the campaign. The way I remember Halo is exactly how the story finished, with the Master Chief saving humanity, getting in his cryopod, and asking Cortana to awaken him when he's needed. And I think I speak for all Halo fans. Master Chief is still drifting out there in space, still waiting to be woken up.
Miss you.
Wake me when you need me.